Students, welcome to the English class. The poetry part, let us learn the poem for a 5-year-old written by the poetess Fleur Edcock. Let us know about the poet here, Fleur Edcock. The poet is a British citizen, was born in New Zealand in 1934. She worked as a librarian in London. Many of her poems are about the everyday experience of a woman as a wife and a mother. Introduction to the poem. Let's see what the poem tells us. It tells us the contradictions in our dealings, that there is a difference between what we preach and what we really practice. It's a usual human tendency that what we talk and our actions and words never match sometimes. We speak something and we do something. That shows that there is a contradiction in our dealings. There is a difference between what we talk and what we do. You need to refer to page number 72 in your textbook to go through the poem. What does the poet say here? For a 5-year-old child. Here, the mother is talking to a 5-year-old child. A snail is climbing up the windowsill into your room after a night of rain. You call me in to see, and I explain that it would be unkind to leave it there. It might crawl to the floor. We must take care that no one squashes it. You understand? And carry it outside with careful hand to eat a daffodil. So what is seen? A snail is climbing up the windowsill. See, what is a windowsill? It's a lower wooden frame of the window, usually a flat and the sides of the window. So a snail is climbing up there into your room after a night of rain. The overnight it has rained and now the snail is climbing up the window. You call me in to see. Now the child will call the mother to see. And I explain. What will the mother explain? That it would be unkind to leave it there. Mother will tell the child that it is not fair on his part to leave it there on the window itself. It might crawl into the floor, so we must take care, says the mother, in case that snail which comes over the window, which is climbing over the window, may come down to the floor. So you may need to take care of it, that no one squashes it. So since the snail is a very slow creature, it is likely to be crushed under one's foot. So what does the mother say? There are chances that you may get to stamp the snail. So you understand, and carry it outside with careful hand to eat a daffodil, says the mother. Now what you need to do is you have to carefully take it outside and leave it in the garden to eat a daffodil. Daffodil is a kind of that feed the snail, that is, it's a type of flower that blooms only in the early spring seasons. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. Your gentleness is molded still by words from me, who have trapped mice and shot wild birds, from me, who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives, and who purveyed the harshest kind of truth to many another. But that is how things are. I am your mother, and we are kind to snails. Now, what is the difference we find here? So, mother says, I see that a kind of faith prevails. That is, it's commonly believed that the character is built rather by words of advice than by imitation of what others actually do. Of course, this is not true. It is only a prevailing belief, not based on truth, that character is built rather by words of advice. See how our nature builds up. Just because somebody advises us to be good, somebody advises us to be truthful, we also try to be the same. Your gentleness is molded still by words. That you see a small child, whatever you advise him, whatever you give him in words, the child will take it the same way. You tell him not to touch into the electric wire, it doesn't do because it is scared and it finds that somebody elderly is advising him. That is the same way here. The poet says that your gentleness is molded still by words. From me who have trapped mice and shot wild birds. Now the mother changes. The mother says that she is the one who had trapped the mice and shot the wild birds. And from me who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives. And it is from her that kittens are drowned many times. And to the closest relatives. Sometimes we don't treat our relatives properly, and who pervade, so who is carried on delivered the harshest kind of truth to many another. So this is how she speaks of the truth. But that is how things are. Because I am your mother, I have done everything. But we need to be kind to snails, and we are kind to snails. Still, we do that. In the contradiction, what does the poet want to say? That it's our dealings are quite different than what we advise others. To advise others, we always give good advices, but we are not the same. We may not follow the same thing in our life.